Hey man. I got a couple
What's going
questions.
on?
Not much, man. I
hmm
got a couple of questions about this. This is just for introductory purposes. Who are you? What's your current sub/follower count?
Um, so my name is Jacksepticeye.
Holy
My current
shit.
sub count is 30.6 million or something like that. I've been doing YouTube for 14, maybe 15 years.
Holy
So
shit. I
yeah,
didn't know. I didn't know I knew Jack's fucking septic guy. What,
top of the
dude?
morning.
Holy shit, dude. That's crazy. That's fucking
hmm
crazy. All right.
Mm.
When did you start like content like not like started content creation because like in our private convos we've talked about how you've been doing this for way longer than before the pandemic. So when did you
hmm
start like what exactly during the pandemic did you start?
Mm. So when it comes to making videos, obviously I've told you I've been making videos for as long as I can think, right? Ever since I got
Mm-hmm.
my hand on like a iPad, flip phone, whatever it was, I was making funny
Mm-hmm.
shit. But and I've had this YouTube channel since like ninth grade. I just
Mm.
upload like random shit posts and Sky Wars or whatever on it. But when it comes to like actually taking it seriously, because there's a period in time whenever you pursue anything, but particularly social media and video, when you like have to lock in and like give it a honest attempt,
Mm-hmm.
like an intentional attempt. In
Okay.
that case, I'd probably say about March to April 2020, I'd say, like right around the time COVID just like started
And
for
as
most people.
and as a result of COVID just starting right as around the time you started locking in, do you feel like that gave you the platform or opportunity to really make it in content creation for real this time?
I'm gonna keep it real. I think COVID just made it easier for me to slack off in school and not get found out,
Same.
which gave me more time to make videos and so on. Because obviously, like the culture I grew up in, making videos, obviously, and for a lot of people, maybe now it's gonna start being different as people see the value of digital media. But like making videos or fooling around online wasn't really seen as productive by any of our parents. So a
Yeah.
lot of us had to like do it in secret, at least for the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
for like a while, especially if you're doing gaming or something like that. So
Yeah.
it being COVID and online classes just, just made me be able to be on my PC for longer without my parents being suspicious when I was like 20, like 15, 16.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, same. I think that I feel like also I'm in the same base as you. Like online school just gave me more time to slack and not do things. I could just
Right.
content most of a day.
Right.
So, what about content creation really stuck out to you? Like back then, before the pandemic, and during the pandemic.
The
What about
money.
it made so far? Oh, pfft.
Nah, I'm kidding. Obviously it's just the ability to just have fun, uh, and progress in a field by just having fun was completely alien to all of us. Because we're pushed
Mm,
into the system where we have to do things a certain way, follow certain rules. It's very defined. And
yeah.
although I did thrive academically, I didn't really have any issues at school at all.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved the idea of being able to express myself creatively and harness a community based on that.
Yeah, it's real. Do you think being a content creator during the pandemic was healthy for you?
What do you mean by healthy? Physically, mentally,
Physic,
or from a career
both,
point standpoint?
from physical and
Both.
mental standpoint.
Well, in the most basic terms, no, obviously not. But the thing about the pandemic was, at least in its early stages, it's not like we had the ability to do things that were particularly healthy,
Mm-hmm.
like physical exercise or even like going outside for a long time. Um, I remember my very first video blew up,
Mm-hmm.
or I noticed it blowing up on the same day as I got my positive COVID, like test results.
Mm.
So it was like, oh, you're positive for COVID. Oh, your video just started blowing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like it was if I wasn't making videos, I'd still be as unhealthy as I was during that time.
Yeah. You were pretty young. You're like 15, 16, around my age, when you started like take locking in. Do you think that had an influence on the content that you made?
Um, yeah, I think in general, well, for me at least, from the beginning, my I wasn't really doing it for an audience. I was just doing things that I like and basing it off of like media that I enjoyed at the time. So yeah, maybe if I started YouTube now, I'd probably not like be making Minecraft videos or gaming videos for that matter.
What would you
But
be
yeah,
doing?
I think the age you start. Um, that's a good question. I mean, the principles would still be the same. Maybe the canvas might not be the exact, if that makes sense. Like it'd still be about because my content in itself is just about doing silly things online with my friends, having fun on servers,
Yeah.
and like crafting that into a coherent storyline. I think I'd still be doing something along those lines, and I do want to keep doing that,
Yeah.
sharing those experiences. But I think the medium of Minecraft mainly was just because of like that's what I was into at the time.
Okay.
Well, I still am. It's not like I lost that, but still, I think yeah,
Uh,
my age did play a part.
yeah. Any specific creators who blew up around 2020 that like really got you into doing Minecraft specifically?
Minecraft specifically, I remember I actually started getting back into Minecraft during 2019 when the whole PewDiePie Minecraft Resurgence thing happened, and I
Uh-huh.
remember being really hooked on SMP Live, which was a server where it was like it was just like I said, a bunch of people having fun, doing stupid, goofy things with their friends and interacting, um, but on a Minecraft server, and I think that like transitioned into obviously it like brought back that um like love I had for Minecraft from back in the day that a lot of us lost and refound during the 2019 20 times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd say SMP Live was a big factor. I used to like a lot of like, well, I know he's been making videos for a long time, but he Quackity during 2018-19, his commentary videos, his editing style, pacing really inspired me. And yeah, I don't really have any particular inspirations. I admire things from literally every creator, every creative ever. And I could like talk hours about it, but I don't want to ramble. But yeah,
Would you have still gotten into content creation if you didn't have those influences before?
uh, like influences.
Like the people
Um,
who got you who like inspired you to jump into content creation, would you have still done it?
that's an interesting question. I don't know. I mean, see. I'm able to retroactively say I enjoy what I do and it's fun, but I really can't put a finger on like the rationale behind why I started. I think, like, if I listen to music for a long time, I'm the kind of person that just like wants to make my own music, for example, right? Like, I
Yeah.
tend to creatively incline towards whatever I consume. So if I didn't watch as much YouTube, no, I don't think I'd want to make videos specifically. But that's like saying like, if Mike Tyson didn't punch as hard, would he be a boxer? No, but he does, and he is. Um, yeah, that's a kind of like out there example, but I guess it makes sense.
I mean, I
You
mean,
know?
metaphor. The metaphor works. The metaphor works. I got it.
Right. Thank you,
Of
Meta.
course. Of course. Is that spark for content creation? That spark of love for content creation? Is that still there for you, or is that kind of fizzled out?
So when we say stuff like love for content creation, I think passion for anything has its sources. What I mean by that is if you enjoy doing something, right?
Yeah.
What is enjoyment really? These are kind of deep questions, but I really enjoy answering them or at least exploring them, even if I'm not completely making sense. If you think about like what do you mean by love for something? That means you either enjoy the process, the product, the outcome, and its effects. All right, either of those things. For
Okay.
me, when I started out, I enjoyed making videos. I loved, it being a creative outlet, a escape from studies, for example.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that aspect. So I loved like making videos, crafting something, watching it back. And then as it started to succeed, I then enjoyed the process of a different process of like experimenting. Nowadays, I enjoy a different aspect of it. I love recording more, but then some days I love doing community work more, as in like accessing like the community that I create from the content. So your love for something is not limited to a particular dimension of it. Sure, I may not enjoy editing as much now just from pure manual repetition,
Yeah.
but the way to stay inspired and stay fresh is to realize what you like about the process, product, or outcome and maximize for that. For example, I'm not ashamed to say I respond a lot to positive numerical success. And
Yeah.
the important thing from that is to prevent it from being toxic is to stop attaching it to your value and start attaching it to the work that I put in. I'm able to get that numeric success because of this other work that I put in. And through that, I'm able to sort of fizzle out a lot of the uh, insipidness, I guess, of the work that I may not enjoy anymore by connecting it to what I do enjoy now, right? And as you scale, as you do stuff full time, as other factors come in, once the monetary aspect comes in, it's not that it's definitely possible, and it has been proven and shown that it's easy to burn out, but that burnout only comes if you hyper focus on a certain thing and not at least look actively for ways to diversify your interest. You know what I mean? There's plenty of time you see a lot of creators caught up on one particular aspect, and even if you do assess your entire situation and don't enjoy anything, it's completely normal to take a break and come back because once you discover a love for something, I don't think it's ever gonna go away per se. It can be poisoned if you introduce wrong aspects into it, for example. But as long as you follow the right principles of creativity, autonomy, um, I guess integrity in this case, sure, like I don't see anything wrong with doing it purely for monetary aspects or doing it purely for numerical aspects. But the thing about anything, not just creatively, but also life in general, is to zoom out every once in a while. And if you're stuck on one aspect, I'm very I've never experienced it to where when I zoom out, I don't find something else within the same process that I don't love. So yeah, that's a very roundabout way of saying, yeah, it just I still have that spark. It just shows itself in different ways.
That's real. Honestly, I kind of feel the same way that like that spark's still there. It's just like it's like a bell curve kind of. Less like a bell curve and
Right.
just like a bunch of like a wave. Just like a woo, 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 up and down over and over again. Um
Yeah, and that's normal.
yeah. So obviously since then you've grown up since like when you first started. How do you feel about yourself as a creator now as compared to then?
Um, Obviously now I have to be more well-rounded in that I could afford to sit in my room for several hours a day, ignore certain aspects of my health just because I had that hunger to blow up or whatever. But as you reach a point both in life and in your content, you have to understand that not only is the consistency more important than uh like sacrificing everything else, but also you need to be stable in all channels of your life, whether it's
Yeah.
health, mental health, social health. Learning to balance those things, I'd say I've become way better at.
That's real. Did content creation ever like content creation has content creation ever felt like a job to you? Has it ever like gone beyond like I enjoy this? Oh wait, no, I don't. This feels like a job.
No, not yet. I have a lot of friends who do content, particularly those who do content full time, that treat it like a job, and therefore either find solace in that or despise it because of that. But me, I still am a full time student. I'm still, I'm still very much. I don't like to say this because it isn't what it is. But I still have like one foot in reality and one foot online, if that makes sense.
That makes
I
sense.
still juggle a lot of responsibilities between the two.
Mm.
So in that aspect, no. I've always like if I ever feel um, burnt out with one aspect, like if I don't like content creation anymore, I'll just focus on school. Or it's like that's just an example of how you diversify. But so no, no, I'd always stop myself before I get to that point.
Yeah. And the final thing I wanted to ask you, if we happen to dip into another lockdown, just like the one we came into during 2020, would we get the same resurgence of creators we got during that same time?
Um, I wouldn't attribute everything to just the pandemic, but I do think because obviously now, if you mean like similar circumstances, I don't think so because like it took us a while to adapt, but I think now we've gotten a lot more comfortable with like, working from home or taking more preventative measures when traveling and stuff. So in that aspect, no, but I do think it's going to be very, very difficult to reach those heights, those outlier heights that we did during the lockdown, if there isn't something like that that happens again.
All right, that's all I had to ask you. I really appreciate you coming in for today, Ash. I'm really happy you decided to do this.
I won like 3 Overwatch games in the
I was
time
wondering
of
what
this
the fuck your
conversation.
keyboard movements were in the background. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Is he
Oh
like Bed
shit! Did
Wars
you hear it?
parkouring?
Oh
I
shit!
heard that shit.
Hope
It
it
was
wasn't too
fuck.
bad.
It was fucking hilarious. I was like, is he playing Mine? Is he like Bed Wars parkour in
Oh
Hypixel
shit,
lobby?
bro! I
Bless
hope it
you.
wasn't too bad. I can re-record.
No, we're good. I am fine with it. No worries. I got your
Awesome,
answers. It was much like your answers were louder than the keyboard. Do you want to like
awesome.
promote anything before I click the stop recording button or
No, free Palestine.
Free Palestine?